What's going on, guys? It's Marcel Benson, investor and entrepreneur. Look, man, today it's a beautiful day. It was a light day. Didn't really do a ton, but again, on Friday, sometimes we take it light because there's zero DTE. You never know what may happen. You just want to kind of like get in. There's a lot of weird action this entire week, so I was just like, you know what? Let's kind of take it risk off. But the setup that we got today was beautiful. The execution was beautiful. A lot of people in the group were able to make money on this particular play. But look, before we get into that, y'all know the drill. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Show the love. Let's get this video to a few hundred likes, right? I'm on a mission to get to 1,000 subscribers so that your boy can get paid from YouTube. I'm not going to cap. But also, there's something in it for you. I continue to give you this anti-gatekeeping information. And on top of that, I'm unlocking a new series once we get there. And y'all really are going to want to be a part of this, right? So like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever you got to do to get this through, okay? Appreciate y'all. Big love. Shout out to everybody in the group that made money today. Man, it's so many of y'all that I'm always missing somebody. I even tried to write it down the other day. I'm always missing people, that are throwing profits in the profits tab in the community. So shout out to all y'all. Y'all know who y'all are, man. Q Tisha, Brielle, Quentin, Steven, Toya, Big D, Swole Trays. Man, I'm always going to miss somebody. But it's big love. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all, all right? So, look, I'm going to jump into this video. Palantir, beautiful setup, and again, even more beautiful execution. And the reason that I'm choosing this trade for today, even though it's, it was $115 made, we're not tripping too much off of the dollar amount. It's the percentage. But it's a real teachable moment on how you can really profit on trades by just kind of sticking your foot in first, right? It's called averaging down. I call averaging down just kind of sticking your foot in first, right? Sometimes you got to get a feel for where the market is going by getting a little bit of exposure. Now, some people might be like, well, can't you just sit on the sidelines and just wait for it to get to a whatever level? But it's something about having exposure, which means that you are taking the risk because you are paying attention to what is developing. Sometimes stocks don't come all the way down to exact levels. So we may have levels set for when we want to enter, and they may not come all the way down there. Well, you can get a little bit of exposure, and then in the case or in the scenario that it does come all the way down perfectly to bounce at the level that you had set, then you can just simply average down with, at least twice the amount of contracts. We'll get into that a little bit later. But Palantir had a beautiful setup. I'm gonna pull the chart up real quick for y'all. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna pull this chart up, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how we flawlessly executed on this and made what I think I made about 65% on the runners. I got out of this particular trade probably around I want to say like 11% profit, and then I left a runner that went all the way to about 65%. But never had to, risk a lot. This was a very risk-off trade, but it worked out. All right, so we got the charts pulled up here. And if you look at this 15-minute chart, you see that it started the day, going down, and then it got below the VWAP, right? Then it came up, and it recovered the VWAP. This right here is pre-market, right? So some may count it, some may not. What I usually do in the beginning of the market is I like to do the orb strategy. If anybody's in the group, y'all know I love my 15-minute orb strategy to kick the day off, to get that little quick layup. So I went and drew the high and the low of this first 15-minute candle, as you see here. So this orange line marks the high of that first 15-minute candle. And then this orange line right here marks the low. So the way that the orb strategy works is once you get a breakout of that range, either to the upside or the downside, you take a directional trade on that next candle. Now, in this particular case, it went to the upside. So we would normally take a call to the upside when we get that closure. But here is the wisdom that I think is going to change your trading. when there are strategies that have rules, there are also exceptions to those rules. A good trader knows the rules. A great trader knows the exceptions to the rules. All right, write that down. A good trader knows the rules to a strategy, and a great trader knows the exception to the rules of that strategy. You got to know when not to go with the strategy. You got to know when to say no. You got to know when to sit on your hands, right? It's very important. So back to this chart, we got the closure. So a lot of people were like, oh, Marcel, I see the 15-minute orb strategies working out. Can we, like, should we get in? And it's like, yeah, we're gonna get in, but let's see what's actually happening, right? And y'all might be like, well, why did you wait? Like, why didn't you get in? Well, there's a level here. As you can see right here, right around the time that it reversed, it's actually reversing not arbitrarily, but because there's a level here that kicked this stock down the last time it got there. So that was really more of the target, right? Since this stock made, pretty much the move all the way to the target, we are banking on something that's low probability, which is that it will go beyond the target. So now our reward to risk ratio is not where we like to have it. We like to have way more reward than risk. Getting in after the close above this 15-minute with this much of a move being made, that would have been a lot of risk because there was a little bit of upside left, but a lot of downside. So we got to be patient. All right, if the 15-minute strategy technically worked because it closed above, but we can't take that next candle because we're too close to the target. So we wait. It pulls back to the VWAP. Okay, it's just trying to retest the level. The VWAP happens to be at the range that it broke out at. Oh, it's just a break and retest. All right, got you. We take entry there, ride it up, 2 candles, profit, big money, minimum 10% on this trade depending on when you got out, right? Now, the way that we played this was, remember, so to back it up a little bit, somewhere in this candle here, in that second session, as I saw it reversing, I'm like, you know what? It's stuttering. And yes, we typically don't take trades in the middle of a session, but because the orb strategy was in play, I was trying to see if it just wanted to pull back slightly. So I'm like, okay, the way that we solve the problem and make sure that we're honoring both those things I just mentioned is to get in with one contract. The goal was to get in at least 4 contracts, but get in one contract so you're not missing the move. And if it does fully come down to that level that I had set, which was the retest right here where the VWAP is, then we would put on a few more contracts. That's exactly what we did. Got out at about 11%, and then the runner went all the way to about 65%. Beautiful trade, beautifully executed. Yeah, I had to pat myself on the back for that one. I'm just like, man, because there's a lot of things that go into trading that could make a normal trade actually work out even better, right? Now, I don't advise averaging down, and I say this quite a bit. I don't advise averaging down just arbitrarily or just getting into a trade and then like it goes against you and then you just put more money in it so that you have a lower average. No, that is a quick recipe for disaster. That is a sure way to lose your money because it's a bad habit to build and you find yourself doing it multiple times and then not having any sort of general area where you're going to get out, and then the stock goes against you really quickly and you wind up losing way more than you had to, right? So, like I said, let this wisdom seep into your spirit. You got to know the exceptions. But again, if you're a beginner, take heed, take notes. But if you're not comfortable trading, this is a little bit more of an advanced strategy, okay? If you're moderate or you've been doing it for a little bit or you feel comfortable doing it, then remember when you average down, you need to use at least twice the size of what you purchased it with. So if I got 1 contract and I average down, I need to get at least 2 contracts so that I can bring that average down to a decent amount that makes it easier for me to get into profit because now the stock has a little shorter way to go. So while my target may have been, let's say, $89, if I average down on a pullback, now I don't have to necessarily get to that 89 to make the same money that I was expecting to make at 89. I hope this all makes sense. If you need any clarity, right, I'm here for y'all, right? My number one priority is to make sure that you guys get to profitability. You know, I'm very invested in y'all getting to a place where you can leave, right? You can just, whatever you're doing that you don't want to do, you can say no to it. That's the whole idea behind this culture of trading, is to take control of your life, have your finances in order so that you are living your life the way that you uniquely want it to be designed and lived, okay? All right, man, I could talk on here forever. Y'all know how I get when I get on a roll, but I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you want, you know, more insight, just take a look around the channel. We got plenty of great videos for you and continuing to post daily. I'm about to start going live. Look, I got this piece I was telling y'all about. I got this piece. This little piece right here is what's been preventing me from going live. I tried to get this multiple times from various places and they kept sending the wrong one, but I finally got the right one and I got a brilliant live on the way for y'all. We're going to talk about a strategy that's on a 30-minute that can really help y'all out. So just make sure you locked in, subscribe, drop me a comment, show some love, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.